Oh, yes, indeed. He comes up next. Dr. Mike Amegberry joins us now. He's a former special advisor to Bayelsa State Governor, also a lecturer in Niger Delta University, and a member of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking about violence-free elections. Everyone would love to see that happen, but politicians, not everybody's sure, because yes, they can say that, yeah, we will ensure that we do what we can, but they don't want to lose. And so if they don't want to lose, their supporters may resort to self-help. What's your recommendation in terms of what do we need to do to ensure that we have, at least, if we could say that, violence-free polls?
Okay, thank you very much. I think that a lot has been said on this, and what I think we need to do is for our leaders, especially those, the political class, to be able to talk to their, members, and especially, during campaigns. What happens is that, people make all manner of statements, like if this election is rigged, we are going to do this, we are going to resort to this. And the thing is that Nigerian politicians generally are bad losers, like someone pointed out here. Once when I lose, I feel that the election was rigged. When I win, it was free and fair. So the way our leaders, it's not just about the followers, the way our leaders, conduct themselves during the election, like you saw what happened during the Abuja Accord. The president himself also, said that some people, the way they talk, even including himself, he also mentioned that, including himself, the way we talk, as if, the next minute we are going to fight and kill ourselves. And the people down there are listening to what the leaders are saying. So once they feel that, if my leader loses, I'm going to kill somebody, I'm going to do this. And
speaking about that, Dr. Mike, I mean, now that you're here, you could tell us, what is this talk that we hear that ex-militants met and then they threatened fire and brimstone if their candidate doesn't win? Did that actually happen?
Oh, well, the thing is that if you are a son, no matter how quiet you are, if your father, somebody is always insulting your father or harassing your father, you might overlook, but at a point when your father is being attacked, naturally, no matter how weak you are, you would want to speak up. And that is what happened. Yeah, the militants met, they were ex-agitators, but people call them ex-militants and all that. They met in Yenagoa, and, all they said was that, if the people in the north attack, continue to attack their president, the president is not just the president of Bayelsa anyways. He's the president of this country. It's unfortunate that, the president of a country will go campaign in a particular state, and then he will be attacked. Then a candidate from that state who is also contesting came to the president's state, and he was given the best of facilities to make use of. Security was provided for him, and then he went away peacefully. And when it was done for the president of this country, who is from the south, to campaign in his place, and then, youths who were shouting, Sai Buhari, were attacking him.
Even though unfortunate. There are different commentary now about what exactly happened, but we only hope that the police will actually give us the true picture in good time. But anybody can, people have a right, freedom of association, have their meetings where they can, but there are those who think, look, the kind of comments that they heard or said to have emanated from that meeting is that if the candidate doesn't win, so some wonder, wait a minute, there is going to be an election and the people will decide. So shouldn't we respect the decision of the people, whichever way the pendulum swings, or are they saying, no, their candidate must win?
Chamberlain, you will agree with me that before the militants, the ex-militants rather, met and came up with this statement, people from the opposition, especially those from the PDP, have also, have also in the past said that if their candidate is rigged out I don't know what they mean by being rigged out. That if their candidate is rigged out, they are going to form a parallel government. That itself is treasonable. But we have a president who has opened up the information space. Everybody has a right to his opinion. But then, if it were in some other person's regime, I'm sure that that person, those people who made those statements, would have been taken up. So if you're saying that you're going to form a parallel government if you're rigged out, why would somebody else not say that if I lose, if you rig my man out too, I'm going to take this kind of action? So the opposition is the one that is even pushing for this kind of statements to be made.
But if you look at the entire commentary, does it mean anything to you and maybe to your party and supporters, asking your supporters to remain calm in the face of provocation?
Yes. I would always refer to Mr. President. He has always told us, everywhere he goes, that his ambition is not worth the life of anybody, not worth the blood of anybody. Nobody should shed his or her blood for his ambition. He's going to, after all, he's going to rule the people. What if, during his election, everybody dies? Who is he going to govern? So he has always told us that. But if you talk about provocation, it is the opposition that is always looking for ways to provoke the PDP. The PDP has remained peaceful, even in the midst of all this provocation. If you see the president is still going about, he has not made any statement. Of course, the followers, we would always want to come out to say one or two things, but the president himself has remained, committed to peace.
Are the followers
is ready to conduct a peaceful and credible election in this country.
Are they taking those message of his, Mr. President, that no one should do any such, engage in any such violence on his behalf? Are the supporters taking that message seriously?
Definitely, definitely. If you look at what is happening, most of those things that are happening, the kind of violence that you experience. Now, yeah, I read in the papers that, the attack on Mr. President took place in PDP states, Bauchi and Katsina. But obviously, I don't want to go into the counter accusations, between one man and the other, saying that it was orchestrated and all that. But the persons who actually did this to Mr. President were APC members.
Did the police say that?
It's really sad what you have just painted. No one, that's an opinion of every, or rather the opinion of every Nigerian and non-Nigerian, no one whatsoever should pelt a president of a country. But again, some followers and supporters of the president, because the president has been so good about his campaigns, not inciting anyone. But do you think the followers of the president are doing him any good leading up to this particular election? The advertorial on the front page about death for some people, the documentary Mr. Igbokwe talked about, and so many other things. Are they doing your party any good when the president tells you not to foment trouble, but what people do is what can actually scuttle the process?
Well, like has been said before, the PDP, swiftly reacted to that advertorial.
It would seem that that's almost a style for the two parties.
Yeah, but why is the opposition now crying foul?
Excuse me, that's what I'm saying. It seemed to us a style to the two leading parties. They say it and they denounce it, but the deed is done. Why can't we stop rather than do it, then go around and denounce?
Well, somebody is entitled to his own opinion. Somebody,
that's what we always say, and that's how the trouble starts, that people are free to say things or act. And when we give them that impression that they are free to express themselves in a manner we know will bring us trouble, what do?
Well, there's always need for caution. And when that advertorial came up, You know, even though the PDP said, the party itself, the campaign organization, the campaign council, came up to say that it was not the wish of Mr. President to wish anyone dead. Because, you know, after all, age is not the reason why somebody has to die before the other. You know, but like it was said, somebody, you know, was just, you know, expressing how he felt about somebody. Now, what nobody is saying that was a very good thing to do, but then the opposition, the APC, has actually done, you know, things that are worse than that, if you ask me. Because if you tell me that if this election is rigged, we are going to form a parallel government, that is a state of anarchy.
But rigging is a crime.
Rigging is a crime, but if you're caught rigging, of course the law enforcement agents are there to do their work. Rigging was not coined by you and I. It is something that happens. You cannot rig even in a place where you're not popular. That's almost like a cliche. People have always said that. You cannot rig in a place where you're not popular. And rigging is not an Ijaw language. I'm from Ijaw. It is not an Edo language. It was, you know, it is an English language, an English word. So it means that if there is rigging at all anywhere, it has happened before. So you cannot.
No,
yes, even though nobody is saying that, you know, elections should be rigged, you cannot. Even in the U.S., we all saw something that happened some time ago. I think when the deputy of Bill Clinton's deputy contested against Bush, I think, there was this Florida count thing that happened at that time. If it's here, people will say, the elections have been rigged, and so we'll go and fight. But at least, you know, you see that, you know, the process was transparent. And if for one thing Mr. President has done in this country, he has opened up the political space. The electoral process is seen to be, you know, fairly transparent. Let me not say, you know, totally transparent, but fairly transparent. This is the first time in this country where a sitting president, you know, if you look at what is happening in the social media and all that, you would even think the opposition is even sure that they are going to win a sitting president in an election. It has never happened before. Other times, you know, even myself as a party man, I would always say when elections, you know, those days elections will come, I say, what am I going to vote for? They will just go and write names and then, you know, submit results, and everybody
we really must.
But we have grown beyond that point, and because this president has told us, Nigerians, that is committed to transparent elections.
I'm happy you pointed this out. We've grown beyond that point, and that is why we must also, well, denounce and also deny and stop those who foment trouble in their words and action. And in any case, you know, we have two words you just highlighted here for the ex-militants or ex-agitators, as you would want to call them. They said if the president does not win. They didn't say if he's rigged out. While for the APC, then the governor then did say if they are rigged out. And you see, these are two different comments. If we are rigged out and if someone doesn't win. But now in forging forward, moving ahead, that's the whole essence of this talk. Because when all else fails, we won't be here talking. How do we stop everyone, people from your side of town, people from every other part of the country, to key into what the president has said? No one is worth dying for in this particular election. But are we listening to such comments?
Well, the way you listen to a comment will differ from the way I listen to a comment.
Is that so?
Yeah, the way you interpret what is being said will be different from the way I interpret mine. Now, all of these things, like I said, the Niger Delta agitators, ex-agitators rather, they've been silent all this while. It is in the midst of, you know, provocations against the person of the president, who is, of course, you know, whether he's the president of this country or not, he came from a region, for crying out loud. And, you know, even though he has a right to go to every part of this country, And if he goes to a section of this country and is being attacked, what do you expect the people from his own place? They will definitely react. It's not as if, they are saying that, everyone will be let loose if he doesn't win. If the process, of course, which we are all saying that is, fairly transparent, in this kind of transparent situation, if the president wins, nobody is going to kill anybody. Nobody is going to, cause mayhem to any. We are as members of the PDP, we remain committed to peace. We are peaceful, and then if you look at what is happening in all the states of this federation, I can assure you that PDP states are the most peaceful states that you have in this country.
Okay, Dr. Mike Amegberi, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
But also to let people know, the elections have not been conducted, except that situation in Benue. If I remember correctly, they were speaking about it. So there will still be election. He's the only candidate, as a matter of fact. So after that, then he can be the person declared winner, even though the candidate will be thinking, look, that's just formality. I am the person already, but all the other elections, nobody has won, nobody has lost. Elections have not been conducted, and it's important we all state that. We'll be back after the break. Join us again.